Hello everyone, this is Ben from iFormBuilder. This video is designed to show you how to take complex iFormBuilder data structures such as parent forms with subforms attached to it and push them all into one sheet within Excel. So currently what happens when you download the Excel sheet is that each of the data tables, which means subforms and parent forms, are each a different tab within Excel, which makes data analysis a little tricky because you have to match up the columns. So what this video is designed to do is to show you how to push all of it into one sheet. So here it is. So one of the benefits of this is that it is all in one long linear structure, as well as that this is live and updating in real time. As new records come in, the sheet gets updated and you can get the most up-to-date records. So to start, what we have to do is you have to create a few different tabs in Excel or in Google Docs. So I created the spreadsheet and I have 4 different tabs here. The final sheet tab is actually what we're going to be using to see the final spreadsheet. The parent form is actually the data directly from the data feed from the parent form, and the same for subform 1 and subform 2. This is going to be data directly from iFormBuilder, the feed. So we start at the parent form level, and what we do is we go into column A2 and we enter the following function: import XML. And then from there, we actually want to go into the data tab. So I'll actually re-enter this. But what we want to do is we want to take the parent form data set here, shift and click the XML, and we want to copy this action URL. So once we have this action URL, we paste it inside the import XML field, and then from there we need to append our username and password. So I'm going to take the username and password here. So it goes and username equals your username and password equals your password, and close that with quotes. Then you do another comma, and we're actually specifying where the data will look. So it's going to look inside this data set, and then we have to do /record because of the way the XML comes in. We hit enter, and then all our data pops up. So these are the fields that come within this, and you'll see that it goes all the way over to where we start getting some of our real data, so our date, our name of the building, our longitude and latitude. And then once we have that, what we want to do is do this for the next 3 forms too. So all the different subforms that you have. So we'll go to the exterior inspection next, shift and click the XML, do the same thing here, equals import XML, copy this, and close with quotes, and the same thing again. /record, and close that with a parenthesis. And this will actually pull the subform data feed down now. Now to get the final interior inspection, we'll copy the action URL, go to this field, same thing again, copy our authentication, username and password, and then we'll reference the data at the record level. Alright, now we have all our data in for this form, so now we're ready to construct the final sheet. So what we got to do here is go into final sheet, and we actually just want to populate the parent record ID into this field. So all I did was equal, and then we select the parent form, and we select parent form A2. Enter. And then from here we need to populate the inspection date, inspector name, building name, all the high-level parent information. So how we do that is we want to use the function called VLOOKUP. And what this is doing, the first field here is saying let's look up record ID 1. And if you look in the parent form here, you'll see we have record ID 1. So it looks that up. And then it's going to say let's look at parent form, and we want to look at every column within this sheet. So we want to look at A1 all the way over to, I think it ends at T100. So just so we can consume over 100 records in this. And then from there we want to select 18. So what 18 is actually the number that it's looking up. So if we go in the parent form here, we want to look at the inspection date. So here's the date field, and we'll see this is 18. So we know we can put 18 in this field. Now we want to extend it on to inspector name. Now that we're in inspector name, we want to go back into the parent form and look where the inspector name is, which is Ben. So we know 16. So we'll put in 16 here. So we look up the 16th option, Ben. And then we want to extend this all the way to the end of the parent form, which ends at exterior inspection. Actually, it ends at GPS coordinates. So building name, we want to look up that as well, which I called Martin, so that's 14. The GPS coordinates are next, and that is 15. So as you'll see, this is a bit of a manual process to get going, but once you do have it going, it's all in a linear structure and it just keeps updating live in real time. So now we're starting the exterior inspection, which I just named it exterior inspection. This knows that we're starting the subform. So if we want, we can even continue this down just so every record knows that we're starting the exterior. So this is actually a little different, not much different. We can actually copy the same code from the VLOOKUP and paste it into here. I don't know why it's not letting me copy it. There we go. Alright, so what we need to change in here is change this where it says parent form. We need to change this to subform 1. So we know to reference subform 1. We can select enter, and we'll see that it already gave us pass. So let's make sure this is on the right one. So you still want to reference VLOOKUP A2, which is this column. We want to look at column 1. But then inside of here is where it's different. So when we're looking at subform 1, we don't actually want to look up by the ID because that is the ID of the subform table. We want to look up by the parent ID, which is column B2. So we go back into the final sheet here. So we actually want to say column B, B2. We want to end that with the $sign. So the $signs here are actually saying that as we extend this on, because as you'll see, if I go like this and extend it on the next one, it's actually not going to change the B2, and it'll keep it the same, which is what we want. So let's go into fail here again, and we want to do B2 to back to 100 again. So now we're ready to go. So we'll say that this is looking up subform 1 at column B2 to 100, and we want to look up, let's check the 14. So we want to do general exterior condition, and if we scroll over here, it actually starts at 14, which is what we want. So if we put in 14, we should get a fail. So we actually want to do 13 because instead of referencing column A2, we're actually referencing B2 now. So 13, and we actually want to do one less than that. So we pass this on to here, and then we can do 14 for this one. So this will be fail. Move over here, and we can do 15 for this one. Actually, let's check that. So it's actually 18 minus 1, 17. So we want to put in 17 in here. And then we want to go to the comments field. So the comments was going to be 17 plus 1, 16. So we want to extend this one more time. And then we want to go to the last photo field, which we can extend here, which should be 17. Actually 15. There we go. So now we finished the first subform. So see, we're looking at the VLOOKUP here. We're looking at column A2, and then we're looking in the subform sheet at column B2 starting, because we want to look at parent record ID again. So if I go back here, we see column B2, parent record ID, and then we want to do the record or the ID that we're looking up. So the ID we're looking up is actually 15. That's the 15 index. Now we're on to the interior inspection. So this will finish off what we do here. So we want to do the same thing here again. We want to copy this code. We want to paste that code right in here. We want to change this to Subform 2. Subform 2. And let's make sure this is right. So 15, Subform 2. We want to move over here. We want to see, so 14 minus 1, we want to start at 13. So we go in and we enter 13. We get fail, which is what we want. Then we want to double check this. Office is clearly labeled. Fail. So that's 14. And I'm going to take a guess here and say that this one is 15. There we go, pass. So now the comments field we want to do, and needs work, so 17 minus 1. Alright, so 17. That's actually the photo, so we need to do 16 here. And then we want to do 17 again. And it's good to go. Now we have this one last field that's inspector signature. Actually, that's on the parent form, so I have to pull that over here. So I will actually copy this code again, put it into the inspector signature field at the end, and let's check the parent form for the correct index to use. So here's the signature, and 17 is what we want to use. 17. All right, there we go. So now you see that we have all of our data into one linear structure here, and the best way to actually extend this down and allow for more records to come in, essentially go through here and pull this down. We'll pull it down all the way to 100, so we can allow for 100 more records to be collected in this sheet. So there you have it. Now all the data is pushed into one sheet within Google Docs, and you can easily see all this data in this linear structure. This is how you accomplish this. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thanks.